Okay, students, we are continuing calorimetry. That's after part 1. Now, in the part 1, we have studied heat capacity and specific heat capacity. Now, in part 2, we'll see what is latent heat and what is specific latent heat. Now, actually, latent heat, the word latent means hidden. So that means you can say latent heat actually means hidden heat. Now what is that latent heat? It is the heat absorbed or released during change of state of a substance. Now suppose we have taken ice. And suppose the temperature of ice is minus 10 degrees Celsius. And now if I heat this ice, now this ice on heating will not start melting at once. You know why? Because the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius, but the temperature of this ice is minus 10 degrees Celsius. So what will happen? First, the temperature of this ice will start increasing because we are heating. So it will change from minus 10 to minus 9, then minus 8, then minus 7, and we'll see if I place a thermometer here for measuring the temperature, we'll see that the temperature is constantly rising from minus 10 degree and to 0 degree Celsius. So first, as I am heating, the temperature has increased from what? Minus 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, and during this time the ice has not melted because the melting point of ice is 0 degree. Now on further heating, now I will see that now the ice starts melting. And although my heating is continued, I have not stopped heating, and the heating is continuous, and the ice is melting, the melting process has begun, but we'll see that the temperature does not increase from here, because you know that the melting point is constant, melting point, boiling point is constant. That means whenever this change of phase will go on, the temperature stops there. So that means now we are heating, the temperature has reached to 0 degrees Celsius, ices start melting to water, but the temperature is not increasing and it is remaining at 0 degrees Celsius. And the temperature will remain at 0 degrees Celsius unless the whole of this ice changed into water. So now the whole of the ice has changed into water and the temperature is still 0 degrees Celsius. Now again if I continue heating, now we will see that now the temperature is started rising again. Now the temperature will rise from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and now the rising temperature is continuous, but again on reaching at 100 degrees Celsius, we'll see that the water start boiling here and start changing into vapor. And again we will see that the temperature on reaching to 100 degrees Celsius, it stops at 100 degrees Celsius. Now again the temperature is not increasing, and the temperature will remain to 100 degrees Celsius unless the whole of the water has converted into steam. So we can see there कि normally when we heat a substance, there is a rise in temperature. But during the change of state, there is no rise or fall in temperature. So this heat absorbed or released during the change of state, that is called latent heat. And therefore it is called latent heat because it is hidden heat, because there is no visible rise or fall in temperature. Now why it happens? Because the heat energy is used to change the molecular configuration, and that is to increase or decrease the intermolecular space, and hence there is no rise in temperature. So try to understand. Now suppose if it is a solid, say so for converting from solid to liquid, this the molecular space has to be more. Suppose this is ice and this is water and this is steam. So that means heat energy that we are supplying during the change of state is used up, and just to increase the intermolecular space for converting from solid to liquid, or for converting from liquid to gas, and hence there is no rise or fall in temperature. Understand? So therefore, when we heat ice at 0 degree Celsius, it will convert to 0 degree Celsius water first, and there will be no rise in temperature. And again, if I cool this water, 0 degree Celsius water, if I cool, then it will change into ice at 0 degree Celsius, and in that case also there will be no fall in temperature. So that means I can say that ice changes into water at 0 degree Celsius and water changes into ice also at 0 degree Celsius. So during this change of state, there is no rise or fall in temperature, and this is called latent heat. Understand? So finally we can say latent heat is the heat absorbed or released during the change of state. Now what is specific latent heat? It's simple. Specific means when we talk about unit mass. Now in this case we have not mentioned about mass. Now it can be any, mass can be any. It is only the heat energy that is required by the substance during the change of state, that is called latent heat. But when I talk about specific latent heat, that means I am talking about unit mass. And unit mass means I am talking about 1 gram or 1 kg. So finally we can say that specific latent heat is the quantity of heat absorbed or released by the unit mass of a substance at a constant temperature. So naturally the temperature is constant, melting point or boiling point or freezing point, all are constant. But it is the amount of heat absorbed or released by unit mass of a substance. That means unit mass of a substance means either it will be 1 gram or 1 kg. Understand? Say for example, specific latent heat of melting of ice. Now this is specific latent heat of melting of ice. So you can understand latent heat during the melting process, that is called specific latent heat of melting of ice. And since it is specific means it is of unit mass. So if I say, specific latent heat of melting of ice is 336 joule per gram. Now this means what? This means 1 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius will require 336 joule of heat to completely convert into water at 0 degree Celsius. Understand? So that means you can understand, if I take 1 gram of ice naturally at 0 degree Celsius, and if I heat, then we have to apply how much heat, and how much heat will be needed, 336 joule, and then only that will convert into water. That will convert into water at 0 degree Celsius. So that means ice to water, how much? 1 gram of ice required 336 joules to completely melt into water at 0 degree Celsius, and that is called specific latent heat of melting of ice. Now similarly, specific latent heat of fusion of ice is also 336. Now fusion means from liquid to solid. Melting means from solid to liquid. Fusion means from liquid to solid. So the value of melting and the value of fusion is same. So they are same. So you can understand previously what we told just now, latent heat of melting of ice is 336 joule, means this 1 gram of ice will absorb 336 joule of heat and then it will convert into water. Now when I say latent heat of fusion of ice is 0 degree Celsius, that means 1 gram of water at 0 degree Celsius will release 336 joule of heat to convert from water to ice. So that is called latent heat of fusion of ice. So this means that 1 gram of water at 0 degree Celsius will release 336 joule of heat to completely convert into ice at 0 degree Celsius. Okay. Next is specific latent heat of vaporization of steam. Now specific latent heat of vaporization of steam, although in the ICC syllabus you have only latent heat of fusion and melting, latent heat of vaporization sums are not there, but still for your knowledge. Now specific latent heat of vaporization of steam is 2268 joule per gram. So that means what? 1 gram of water at 100 degrees Celsius will require 2268 joule of heat to completely convert into steam at 100 degree Celsius. So understand? So if you take 1 gram of water, say if you take 1 gram of water at 100 degrees Celsius, because boiling point of water is 100 degrees, so water can change from water to steam only at 100 degrees Celsius. Now if you heat, then this will change into steam. This water, 1 gram of water will change into 1 gram of steam, means 100 gram of water will change into 100 degrees Celsius water will change into 100 degrees Celsius steam. But during this time, water will absorb how much? 2268 joule of heat. So 1 gram of water will require 2268. Understand? Similarly, if you take 1 kg of water, then you should 2268 000 joule of heat has to be given. Now conversely, specific latent heat of condensation is also 2268. Like you have seen melting and fusion, the value is 336 in both cases. So here also specific latent heat of condensation is also 2268, means what? Now if you take 1 gram of steam, at 100 degrees Celsius, and if you want to convert, and if you cool that steam and that steam condenses to water, then it will release how much heat? It will release 2268 joule of heat. So understand, water to steam it will absorb 2268, steam to water it will release 2268 joule. Similarly, ice to water it will absorb 336 joule of heat per gram. If it is 1 kg, then it will be 336,000 kg. And similarly, water to ice it will release 336 joule of heat. Understand? So in fact, this is about latent heat and specific latent heat. Okay. Now we have seen in previous part that when we want to calculate heat absorbed or released, we use this formula Q is equal to mc delta T, where m means mass, c means specific heat capacity of that substance, and delta T means rise or fall in temperature. But during change of state, just now you have seen that during change of state there is no rise or fall in temperature. But the substance absorb or release heat, that is sure. Now how to calculate that heat during the change of state? So during the change of state, heat absorbed or released is calculated by the formula Q equals to M into L, where M again means mass and L means specific latent heat of that substance, latent heat of melting or latent heat of vaporization, it will be given. So that is called specific latent heat. So we will use just ml because you can understand there is no rise or fall in temperature. So we can't use this formula mc delta t during the change of state. So you have to remember now the sums that we will do, that will be the combination of these two. So you have to just make sure, you have to understand from the question कि where there is no change of state happening, during that time to find heat absorbed or released we will use mc delta t. But wherever there will be a change of state, at that point we will calculate the heat as heat equals to ml. Okay, so we will use these two formula. Okay. Okay, now see this. Suppose they told calculate the total amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius to steam at 100 degrees Celsius. Now these values will be given like specific heat capacity of water, so it is 4200 joule per kg degree Celsius. Specific heat capacity of ice is 2100 joule per kg degree Celsius. Latent heat of fusion of ice, that is 336,000 joule per kg. And latent heat of vaporization of steam, that is 2268,000 joule per kg. So now we have to find the total heat. Now for your understanding, first I am explaining you in a flow chart. Okay, how can you step by step understand what to do? See, they told calculate the total amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius to steam at 100 degrees Celsius. Now this is ice and that is 1 kg, and what is the temperature of the ice? Minus 10 degrees Celsius. Now see what will happen when you start heating. What will happen first? Ice will not melt here because the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. So first this ice will reach to 0 degrees Celsius, then only it will melt. So now what will happen, when as we are heating, the temperature of the ice will increase minus 10 to minus 9, then minus 8, then minus 7, minus 6. So slowly it will increase and then it will come to minus 3, then minus 2, minus 1 and then 0. So first it will come to its melting point 0 degrees Celsius ice. And you can see during this time what happened? During this time there is a rise in temperature. There was a rise in temperature. And since there is a rise in temperature, here we will calculate heat as M and C and delta T, right? And C, whose C will take? Will take C of ice, because at present it is ice. So we will take the specific heat capacity of ice. Mass is 1 kg and delta T, you know, minus 10 to 0 means 10. Okay. Now after reaching to 0 degrees Celsius, still we are continuing heat, and you can understand now this ice will start melting. is ice will start melting, and when all the ice will melt, it will convert to 0 degree Celsius water. Now it will convert to 0 degree Celsius water means there is no rise in temperature. No rise in temperature. And since there is no rise in temperature at present, now we will calculate mass and specific, no sorry, at this here we will take m into L, right? Because there is no rise in temperature, so we will find Q is equal to m into L, and whose L will take, whose latent, will take latent heat of ice here. Okay, and then when you heat this 0 degree Celsius water, now what will happen? This 0 degree Celsius water, now there will be a rise in temperature, there will be a rise in temperature here, and this 0 degree Celsius water will reach to 0 degree Celsius water, 100 degree Celsius water. So now the water is changing from 0 degree Celsius water to 100 degree Celsius water, and there is a rise in temperature. And since there is a rise in temperature, here we will find Q3 as again m into C into delta T, and here we will take C of water, specific heat capacity of water here. So this, and again when I am heating this, now what will happen? This 0 degree Celsius water will change into 0 degree Celsius, 100 degree Celsius water will change into 100 degree Celsius steam. So again there is no rise in temperature, change of state. And since there is no rise in temperature, now we will get Q4, that is m into again L, and we will take latent heat of steam here. Understand? So finally we get total heat Q as Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. So Q1 plus Q2, whatever values you are getting, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4, we get the total heat. Understand? So finally you can see that QMC, this is mass, we have taken C of ice, and then again delta T, then plus again M, and then we'll take L of ice, latent heat of ice, then again we'll take M and C of water, and again delta T, and again we'll take M and L of steam. So this is the total heat is equal to this plus this plus this plus this. Understand? Now again in some convert sum, sometimes you can understand now total heat will be given, and out of these terms maybe one term is missing, so you can get that term. So the main thing to understand is that for doing the sums which is related with latent heat, you have to understand where we will use latent heat and where we will use specific heat capacity. So where you will find in a stage there is a rise in temperature, or there is a fall in temperature taking place, we will use MC delta T formula. And where in the stage we will find that there is no rise or no fall in temperature, that means there is a change of state. So during the change of state, for finding the heat, we will use M into L. So that's the main concept of this part. Understand? Okay, now see this term. A cube of ice of mass 30 gram at 0 degree Celsius is added to 200 gram of water at 30 degree Celsius. Then calculate the final temperature of water when the whole ice cube has melted. Okay. Now suppose this is, try to understand, this is 200 gram of water. So this is 200 gram of water whose temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. And this is ice whose temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. And how much? 30 gram. Now when this ice cube is dropped in this, naturally the temperature of this 30 degrees Celsius water will come down. This water will become cooler, and we have to find that temperature, calculate the final temperature. Now let that temperature be T degrees Celsius. You can understand this T degrees Celsius is actually less than 30 degrees Celsius, and naturally it will be greater than 0 degrees Celsius because the ice is melted, all the ice has melted. So that means when I put this cube of ice which is at 0 degrees Celsius to a 30 degrees Celsius water, slowly the ice will start melting, and slowly the temperature will start falling. And when all the ice has melted, then actually the temperature of the whole combination, will reach to T degrees Celsius, which is less than 30. That is what we have to calculate. So try to understand, if I take let the final temperature is equal to T degrees Celsius. Now in a mixture sum you have to always find heat lost and heat gained. So who is actually gaining heat? Ice is gaining heat and water is losing heat. And according to principle of calorimetry, you know, heat gained is always equals to heat lost. Naturally, we are neglecting the heat loss in the surrounding. But you have to understand here the heat lost by whom? Heat is heat lost by water and heat is gained by ice. So first we will see how much heat is gained by ice. Now first, heat gained by ice at 0 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius water. You can understand, first this ice will change from 0 degrees Celsius ice to 0 degrees Celsius water here. So during that time we will use m into L, and the mass of ice is 30 and latent heat of ice is 80, okay, calorie per gram. So we get 2400 calorie. But this water which is formed from this molten ice, 0 degrees Celsius ice to 0 degrees Celsius water, the temperature of this 0 degrees Celsius will now reach to T degrees Celsius because the final temperature is T degree. So again heat gained by water at 0 degrees Celsius to water at T degrees Celsius. So now the ice, 0 degrees Celsius ice, has converted into 0 degrees Celsius water by absorbing this much heat, and then that much water temperature will then again further increase to T degrees Celsius. And now in this case we will use mc into delta T, where m is this mass is 30 gram. Now specific heat, now we will take the specific heat capacity of water, 1 calorie, and rise in temperature is from 0 degree to T degree. So that means it is T minus 0 degrees Celsius, so it is T. So I get what? 30 T. So that means I can say that heat gained by ice is in 2 steps. First, that ice is converting from 0 degree Celsius ice to 0 degree Celsius water, and then that 0 degree Celsius water is again changing into T degree Celsius water by absorbing this much heat. And this water is actually reaching from 30 degree to T degree only. You can understand, ice is first reaching from 0 degree ice to first it is reaching from 0 degree water, and then 0 degree water to T degree water. So ice in 2 steps and this water in 1 step. Now I can say heat lost by water from 30 degrees Celsius to T degrees Celsius. So now it will be mc theta. Again I will take m into c into delta t. Now mass here, mass is 200 gram. Specific heat capacity of water I will take again water as 1. And delta t means it is from 30 minus t. It will be 30 minus t. Okay. And now I can say that heat gained is equal to heat lost. So finally we can say that 2400 plus 30T is equal to 200 into 30 minus T. Understand? So from there we will calculate 2400 plus 30T, 200T and 200. So we get 230T equals to 6000 minus 2400, so 3600. So we get 230T is equal to 3600, and we will get T as 3600 by 230, and we can then calculate. Okay, and we can calculate as 15.65 degree Celsius. So it will be more or less 15.65 degree Celsius. Okay, so you can see there. So this calculation you can do after that, but still you can see. Okay, so finally you can see 2400 plus 30T equals to 200 into 30 minus T, and from there you calculate T, and you will get after calculation you will get T as 15.65 degree Celsius. Okay, so latent heat is finished. So next video will come up with some more harder problems, okay, related with calorimeter. So related with heat capacity, specific heat capacity, latent heat and specific. So there will be a mixture of all type of sum in my next video. Okay.